at what point you started getting comfortable at what you were doing? Did you become conscious because the way you started having it was subtle. I mean, but you would have different outfits. Your tuxedos were great. You really stood out, and I don't know if you realized it at the time, but you were kind of setting a stage or paving a road for others that would come behind you. But was it just something you just said, I just want to look different, what was behind the thinking, behind the way you presented yourself in the ring?
Well, it started like this, Sean. I had always seen the announcers or like a boxing match, and you would always see the commentators. They were dressed up, they looked sharp, and the announcer too. So when I started doing that and staying in the ring, not in the ring, but I was doing the bell and everything, I dressed up and I had my timekeeper, the same thing too. I want you in a suit. Well, I ended up getting, because I didn't have a seamstress, and I bought a man's tuxedo. And so that's why it's kind of long in the crotch in the early days, because it actually is a man's tuxedo that I was renting. And then they eventually bought like the white ones and the black ones, and you see these big pants. And thank God the sewing girls came along with the spandex and their sewing machines, and we got together and had some great ideas. But it came out. I wanted to have the female again. I want the woman up there. The woman can be in there and do everything that a man can do, and that was my edge to try to get into a man's business. It was not about selling sex or skin or anything like that. It was about just giving a little bit of female touch, and the fanciest things that I thought that would work, and was my shoes. I always got there's no place like home shoes, Judy Garland, and they were always sparkly, or I'd be out in Vegas, but I always liked the sparkly shoes because the tuxedo was kind of in the early days, but that's how I started. Well, at least they'll notice my shoes. I'm getting the man's tuxedo, and it got heavy, and that's where we came up with it, and plus the fact my dry cleaning bill to carry that thing. So when the girls started, they go, well, why don't we'll do something and we'll still keep the tails? And I said, I want the tails. And I always wore a tuxedo, an actual tuxedo shirt underneath. And then we did the spandex pants with the trim on the side. But that's how I did it, is I'm going to dress up. I got into the tuxedo, which was kind of okay. But that's where my mindset was if a man can do it and they do it in a tuxedo, why can't I? Yeah. Why can't I? I'm not going to be doing anything different. I'm not going to be out there acting like a girl or a girly girl, but I'm also going to make good delivery and be very serious about my job. And that's basically how I looked at it. But I think about it as like, why did I come up with that? And it was just what I had seen. I had not seen the men in tails, but I liked tails. It just added a little different. And there was also a running joke that Jack Lanza always was telling the guys that he stick your tails back in, because they would always have their shirt tails out. And so I thought, well, heck, I'm going to have a tail that they can't talk about. And again, it was just an idea that came up and then developed into an actual a costume, which was lighter, and I could wash it, and it got stolen. I can't tell you all. There's somebody running around in Texas and in California, because I'd go to the room and I'd have a backup suit. Well, somebody got in that room and they stole it, so I can, somebody's got a couple of my outfits out there somewhere.